Hello, welcome to the continuation of episode 24 of the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. If you guys are wondering why I'm doing a continuation of episode 24, that is because unfortunately my dumbass forgot to put in the content that I had from the Wolves and Nuggets game 7 from Sunday night. I completely apologize. That was completely my fault. Just got my notes scrambled up here, so very quickly just want to touch on it. I want to give all credit to Minnesota for the series. They were able to pull off the upset. I had picked Denver to win in 6 games. Obviously, it went 7. I said that it was capable of possibly going 7 games, though, and it showed why. Karl Anthony Towns, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Great performance by Cat. Gave his team finally the performance that he needed and that they expected from him, especially in a closeout game in the series. It was a great performance. Minnesota ultimately showed throughout this whole series through shooting, defense, and just pure fight. They wanted it. They wanted it more than the Nuggets did. And, heaviest head who wears the crown. And the Nuggets got to find out the hard way that, your head can be pretty fucking heavy when everybody's chasing you. I want to also give a shout out to Jay McDaniels. 23.6 rebounds, 1 assist. Had a very good series. He had a couple games where he struggled, but he ultimately had a very good series. His defense was stellar throughout the whole series. Another great performance from him, so I definitely want to give a shout out to you, bro. Rudy Gobert, kind of shitted on Charles Barkley, and a lot of people basically saying that he was unplayable on offense. 13 points, 9 rebounds. A lot of his rebounds came on defense. That was definitely great to see. Rudy Gobert is going to be a key for this series against the Mavs, because if he can abuse the Mavs big men and Karl Anthony Towns can have his way, the Wolves should win this series. But however, that will remain to be seen. We'll dive into that a little later. But anyway, my man Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, had a bad game. By his own standards, played like fucking garbage. Didn't really shoot well. 16 points at the end of the game. I will say this, and I'll stress emphasis on this. If they are going to win a series, if they're going to beat the Mavs and go to the NBA Finals, he's going to have to play better. And if he plays like that, or he continues that type of shooting performance, they'll lose in 5 or 6 games, and it'll be over quick. So, Ant-Man, you definitely got to play better, but shout out to you, bro. I see you climbing. I see this team climbing. I see exactly what Chris Finch is doing, and got to get his team props, man. And last but not least, I want to give props to the OG Mike Finley. Mike Finley, who has been a story vet in this league, been on a couple teams, cut his teeth in the league with the Grizzlies. Another solid performance again. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. And it's not the sexiest stat line. It's not the stat line where you go, oh my God, he had 35, 12, and 10. No. It's not even necessarily just the 10 points. The 10 points was cool. But more importantly, it's the 8 rebounds and the 4 assists. It just consistently shows you why Mike Conley consistently puts in the work, why he's consistently regarded as one of the best veteran point guards in the league, why he consistently gets a job, why when teams are looking for vets to add to their roster to improve, to help their young guys, he's always the guy that's there. And it'll be very interesting to see if the Wolves can beat the Mavericks, because if they can beat the Mavericks and get to the finals, this will be Mike Conley's first legitimate chance at getting a championship, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. He's just one of those guys that's always had a solid career, always been a very good performer. Definitely been somebody who's been able to stay around and can be consistent enough, and it's just very good to see that he's getting another shot, and he's getting a shot at potentially being in the finals. It's just dope to see. But I'd be fucking remiss if I did not go on these Denver Nuggets. I want to make sure first I state Jokic showed up 34, 19, and 7. Hard-fought game as usual. MVP did what he was supposed to do. Jamal Murray showed up, 35 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. However, the rest of their team did fucking not. You heard me say previously, heaviest is head who wears the crown. And obviously, this just shows you. I mean, it's a real thing. Expectations will make or break a team. And you clearly saw, you had 2 guys show up. Your bench was just depleted. It was not even non-existent. And people will say, well, the bench just had a bad game. No, what it really ties into is that the Nuggets won a title last year. And just like the Bucks several years ago, excuse me, just like the Bucks several years ago, when they got rid of their talent and they broke up their bench, you got to understand something. Benches help you win championships. I've been saying this shit the whole postseason. Going 6, 8, 10 deep is a real thing. It's a real thing. It's not a back in the day thing. It's a real thing. That's how the Warriors were able to win championships. If you don't have a bench, you're going to get your ass drugged. And, that's why you had two guys with, let's see, 69 points combined, and, the rest of your team gave you dog shit. I mean, come on. You were up by 20. You were up by 20 at halftime. You're up by 20 at halftime. You got your coach getting pissy with the fucking reporters talking about, that's a dumbass question. No, it's not a dumbass question. You're the defending NBA fucking champions. You're up by 20 points at halftime and you blew a fucking lead. And then you got him and Jamal Murray talking about, a lot of games played and guys are tired at this point. Man, miss me with that bullshit. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. You are the defending, were. You at that, but prior to, you were the defending NBA champions. You were in the playoffs. You were on your run. None of this mattered when you beat the Lakers. Now all of a sudden you're tired. Now all of a sudden, the games and, we've been playing since, late last year and in the summer. And man, listen, Mike Malone, you better than that. Don't make no excuses. Jamal Murray, you know better. Don't make no excuses. You got your ass whipped. You lost in the series that you were supposed to win, and you lost in Game 7 at that. Just call a spade a spade. You got your ass whipped. It was very disheartening to see that and to hear that. LeBron and them couldn't make no excuses. No team that lost in the playoffs could make excuses, and nobody was going to give them a pass. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they got Jokic. Yeah, Murray's good. Mike Malone's good. That team's good. But they got flaws, and it was shown. I stated this through the whole postseason. I stated it over and over, time and time again. They weren't shooting well. They weren't shooting well, and they were getting past. They were getting by. The Lakers are in that because the Lakers don't have the bench to beat them. LeBron destroyed them. AD destroyed them. And outside of that, you couldn't really get continuity out of Austin Reeves, Hachimura, or, that, again, is just beating a dead horse. But the Nuggets, this was going to get exposed. Whether they lost now or lost later, it was getting exposed. So, again, kudos to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And it's going to be a great series, man. Like I said, I got Dallas winning the series against Minnesota in 6. However, I do think this series could even go 7. And we'll see what Minnesota has in store, man, because the matchup's going to be in the interior. If they can get Gafford and Lively and those guys and Derek Jones to play well in the interior, Minnesota's going to lose this series. However, if Minnesota's interior presence, the Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns can make themselves known and they can get some more consistency, better, more even shooting performances from Ant-Man, it's going to be interesting, man. But I thank you guys again for your patience and time. Thank you as always. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care and have a great day.